Hi, this is Misha. This is my template. As you can see, it is responsive. When it gets skinny, the My Account link drops down underneath. When I validate local CSS, it validates. When I validate local HTML, it takes it a second or two longer, but it validates. Here is my home page. I have it set on responsive so that you can see it. This is on the narrow view. You can see my recipes move around. My picture with the coyote there gets larger and smaller, so it is a responsive design. When it gets to narrow enough, when it gets wide enough, the reviews pop over to the side. The recipes climb up next to it. So it has both the wide and the narrow screen CSS. When I validate the local CSS, I get the nice green bar. And when I ask it to please validate my local HTML, I also get the nice green bar. I do have a couple of problems. So I think that I've done a pretty good job of getting everything into the site that is needed and that was called for in the parameters. I do have a couple of problems that are driving me absolutely crazy. When this is narrow, I get this big gap right here between the picture and the next section. And that gap grows and shrinks. And I think it's probably because my image, I set it as a background image for that div, and I had to specify the height of the div in order to make sure that the whole picture showed. And I think that's what the problem here is. But I can't figure out how to get around that. And when I put the image in with an image tag, these words would not go up onto the picture. They hung out down here. So I believe I said at the beginning of the class that I have a love-hate relationship with CSS, and this is mostly why. And the one thing I would really like to do, I noticed in the pictures of the that were given of how it should look, it was a white box here around the home page, and the letters were red, the basic breadcrumb to keep track of where you are on the page. But if I leave my navigation in the common folder, I don't know how to achieve that. The only way I know how to make that happen is to have the navigation actually on the HTML page repeated every time, and then on each page set that link as the active link. So with having the nav bar in the common folder, I don't know how to make each page have a separate, move the class around so that you can have the, forget the word for it, way marking or something like that. Anyway, so that you can make that link different so that you can tell where you're at on the site. Other than that, I think I've done a pretty good job. Have an awesome day.